What we got? Questions now? What do you got? 3. What's it say? Y equals x plus 5. And then, what's the other one? Read it out to me, will you? 4x plus y equals 20. Okay. Substitution method. What's step number 1? Get one equation, solve for x or y. Do we already have that? Top one's already solved for y. So I'm going to rewrite the other equation. The 4x plus y is equal to 20. But what am I going to do? I'm going to replace the y with what y is equal to. So instead of y in here, what am I going to replace this y with? The x plus 5. So, combine like terms. 4x and 1x makes 5x plus 5 equals 20. Subtract the 5. So you get 5x equals 15. Divide by 5. So we get x equals 3. Halfway there. In my point, now I have the x coordinate. How do you find the y coordinate? Plug it in. You can plug it in here, you can plug it in here. I think it'd be just as easy to plug it right in there. If it says y equals 3 plus 5, what's y going to equal? So far, so good? Now again, remember, you should be checking these. In this problem, where would be the best place to check it to where I'm pretty sure I got the right answer here? The second equation. Where if I want to check it, I plug it in here and I go 4 times 3 is 12 plus the y would be 8. Does that equal 20? Yes, sir. So, yep, I got the right answer. By the way, for some of these problems, what's another benefit to the, what are some of the benefits to this method? Like, what are some of the downfalls of when it would kind of stink to use the graphing method?
It's kind of hard to check your answers.
What's that?
It's kind of hard to make the double checking.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little harder to check your answers. What if your answers are decimals? Is the the graphing method is going to be hard to use, right? And what about if the answers are big? Like, what did you guys get for the answer to number 7? What did you guys get for the answer to number 7, the story problem? Let me guess. It's a word problem. You didn't even want to do it. Skipped it. All right, so let's do that one. Huh? So number 7. The Strauss family is deciding between 2 lawn care services. The green lawn charges $49 startup plus $29 a month. What's the equation? Y equals... Oh, come on, pen, work. Y equals $49 plus 29x. Or 29x plus 49 if you'd rather write it that way. And then the other equation is, what's the startup? It's $25 startup and $37 a month. So $25 startup and 37 a month. So there's your equation. These are both in slope-intercept form. Would this be a good candidate for the graphing method? Why not? Big numbers. Big numbers are not that fun to graph, right? Because you'd need a giant graph in order to do it, or you got to count by 2s or 5s, then it's going to be hard to be precise, kind of thing. So, decimals and big numbers just don't really work well with the graphing method. With this substitution method, step 1's already done because they're actually both solved for y. If they're both solved for y or both solved for x, if this equals y and this equals y, what do I basically just do? So if I rewrite y equals 49 plus 29x, this one equals y. I'm going to replace the y with what? I just set the two equal to each other. 25 plus 37x. So I just set them equal. I got x's on both sides. First thing I would do is get all the x's on one side. So I've got the 25. 37 minus 29 is what? 8. Equals 49. Then I would minus the 25. So I get 8x equals, what do we got, 24? Divide by 8, and what do I get? X equals 3? What does that mean? For this particular application, what does x equals 3 mean? X is the number of months until these two are what? Equal to each other. This one's cheaper to start out with, right? It's going to be cheaper after week 1. It's going to be cheaper after week 2. After 3 weeks, they're going to be exactly the same amount. And then this one will be more. So, how do you find what is the total cost after 3 weeks? Well, pick an equation. It doesn't matter which one. What's 25 plus 37 times 3? I'd use a calculator. Anybody get an answer? So 3 months. So 3 months would equal $136. So that's A. What's B asking? If the family will use the lawn service for only 6 months, which is a better option? Which one's going to be cheaper? If it was if it was 3 or less, which option would you go with? If it was 3 or less, I'd go with this one. But if it's more than 3, I'd go with that one, right? So, what was that one called? What was the 49 one called? That was the green lawn service. So I'd go green lawn service. I'd go with the other one if it's only 1 or 2 months or 3 months. But if it's 6, I'd go with the green lawn. So what else you got? How you guys doing with this method? Good, bad? Have you guys done this before? Never done the substitution method before? Okay. So I feel like you guys have done the elimination method before. The one where you add or subtract them, ones we do in the bell ringers more. I feel like you guys have seen that before. I just wasn't sure if you guys have seen the substitution method before. So, what do you got? 12? What's 12 say? Read it off to me. Okay.
And then negative y equals negative 2x plus 4.
Like that? Okay. So, is step 1 done? Okay. So what do I do for step 2? I plug it in. So I would rewrite the negative y equals negative 2x plus 4. Now this one's a little harder just because of that negative sign. So I would use a set of parentheses here. And what am I going to replace that y with? 0.5x plus 2. First thing you have to do, distribute that negative. So that'd be negative 0.5x minus 2 equals negative 2x plus 4. Now I got x's on both sides. I would add the 2x over here. What's negative a half x plus 2x? What's negative a half plus 2? That'd be 1.5x minus 2 equals 4. Add the 2. So I'd get 1.5x equals 6. And then divide by 1.5. What's 6 divided by 1.5? 4. So there's my x coordinate. How do you find the y? I'd plug it in right here. What's a half times 4 plus 2? What's a half times 4? 2. 2 plus 2? So the answer is 4, 4. And again, you could easily check it. It should work. Ken, good? So far, so good? Anything else on the homework? Okay, turn those in. Quiz for everyone tomorrow. What's going to be on this quiz tomorrow? Solving systems. There are 2 methods of solving systems. Hi. How you doing? Two methods tomorrow. So we're turning in the homework right now and then talking about tomorrow's quiz. 2 methods on the quiz tomorrow. What are those 2 methods? Substitution and graphing. That's it. The whole quiz. You're going to have problems on the quiz where I say solve y equals 2x minus 4, y equals negative 1/2 x plus 3. Well, I'll do plus 6. Here's the system. Your job, solve by graphing. You'll have a little piece of graph paper. Where's the first thing I start at? Negative 4. So you go down 1, 2, 3, 4. And you go up 2 over 1. 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 Draw that line. Again, I highly, highly recommend use a ruler. And then start this one at up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you go down 1 over 2. Down 1 over 2. Down 1 over 2. Down 1 over 2. Draw the line. Where's the answer? Where are you going to find the answer? Where they cross. What are the coordinates of the points where they cross? Oh, that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4, 4. How do you know without a shadow of a doubt that that is the correct answer? Plug it in. Rewrite this, but plug in the y and plug in the x. In this case, it's 4, 4. So does 4 equal 2 times 4 minus 4? Well, 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 4 is? So it works in that one. And then should work in this one. So does 4 equal negative 1/2 times 4 plus 6? Well, negative 1/2 times 4 would be negative 2. Negative 2 plus 6, last time I checked, equals 4. Should you get 100% on this quiz tomorrow? Why? Why can I basically guarantee you 100% on the quiz tomorrow? Just check your answers. Just seriously, take the time to check your answers, and you're going to get a good score. Now, is this quiz going to be multiple choice? No, I can't do a multiple choice on this quiz. It has to be non-multiple choice because it's otherwise you just do this with all the multiple choice answers and you wouldn't actually do the graphing. You wouldn't actually use a substitution. Okay? there won't be any surprises on the quiz tomorrow. There's basically going to be 3 types of questions. Solve this system by graphing, solve this system by substitution, and check, is this the correct answer? So basically what I mean is if you take a look at page 386. Everybody look at page 386. What I mean by is this the correct answer are questions like 2, 3, and 4. So they'll give you a system. They'll also give you the answer and say, is this the answer to this system of equations? And it just becomes a yes or no question. And all you have to do is check. If it works in both, you got the right answer. If it doesn't, then it's not. Do you want me to do another substitution method? We've done a bunch with the homework today. Do you want me to do this with substitution? Okay, so if this was my system, y equals, oh, I don't want to do that. I'll just do this. So we got y equals 2x minus 4, and it was y equals negative a half x plus 6. We already know the answer should be 4, 4, right? They're already both solved for y, so I could rewrite either equation, y equals negative a half x plus 6, but I can replace the y, it's not what I wanted, with what? 2x minus 4. And now I just got to solve it. Well, first thing I'd want to do is get all the x's on one side. So I would add the 1/2 x. And if you wanted to do it as a decimal, you could. What's 2 plus a half? Well, 2.5x minus 4 equals 6. Add the 4. So you get 10 equals 2.5x. I'll give you one guess as what 10 divided by 2.5 is. It's 4. Just plug in your calculator. 10 divided by 2.5. It's 4. How do you find the y that goes with it? Plug it in. What is 2 times 4 minus 4? 8 minus 4 is 4. Could you actually, for a graphing method problem, also use the substitution method to check your answers? Yeah. The more ways you get the same answer, the more you can say, without a shadow of a doubt, yes, I got the right answer. Now, not all problems lend themselves really easily to the substitution method, or to the graphing method, right? Like, if I gave you this problem here, if I said x plus 2y is equal to negative 1, and I said 4x minus 4y equals 20. Is this a good solve by graphing problem? No, they're not in slope-intercept form. It wouldn't be a great method other than, I mean, you could use other methods to graphing besides slope-intercept form. You could find the x and the y intercepts. You could do it that way if you really wanted to, and you could say, what's my x-intercept here? Well, it's 5. What's my y-intercept? It's negative 5. Connect the dots. You absolutely can use that method if you wanted to. You may have some decimals doing it that way, but this would be a better candidate for the substitution method. Which equation and which variable should I start with for this one? First equation for x, because it's easy to get the x by itself. So if x plus 2y equals negative 1, all you got to do is move that 2y to the other side so it becomes negative 2y. The negative 1's already over there. So I got the x by itself. Now I rewrite the other equation. the 4x minus 4y equals 20. But what do I substitute in here? This is going to become the x. So I erase the x. Yes, I should use parentheses here. And I plug in the negative 2y minus 1. What's the next thing I should do? Distribute. So I get negative 8y minus 4 minus 4y equals 20. Another quick thing. At this point, as soon as you substitute, how many different variables should you have written down? Like x's and y's. You should only have one letter throughout this whole thing. You shouldn't have any x's left over. There's only y's, so that means you can solve this. You might have multiple y's, but you shouldn't have any other letter than y or x, whatever you're substituting. Combine like terms, I got negative 12y minus 4 equals 20. Add the 4. So now we've got negative 12x equals 24. Divide, and what do you get? Negative 2? And then, where's the best place to plug that answer into? Here, here, or right before you substitute? Right before you substitute. I'd plug it in right there and say x should equal, wait a minute. Oh, my y's turned into x's. Oopsie. Just magically, y's turned into x's. So x would equal negative 2 times negative 2 minus 1. So it'd be 4 minus 1, or 3. And again, you should be able to check your answers. Okay? Today you're getting worksheets. The one worksheet is going to be graphing method. There's graph paper on it. Sometimes it's a little hard to use that graph paper, but because of the way the copy machine worked, if you don't want to use that graph paper, there's other graph paper on my desk. The side that does all the substitution method, you have to show your work, guys. Like, you have to show your work. Okay? All right.